You know, I often start these videos by standing in front of a car, talking about some of its history, maybe pointing out a cool feature here and there, but we're doing things a little bit differently today. I'm being driven. Up there you could see cameraman Phil. Phil, wave to the camera, please. Thank you. Thank you, driver. Because I'm in a different type of vehicle. I'm sitting in the back seat of the 2013 Bentley Mulsanne. And I'm being driven because that's what someone who buys this car might do. And I wanted to experience that. So, driver, please take this left. Thank you. See, I'm getting the full experience here. It's quite fun. But it's really not the full Bentley experience, even though this back seat is luxurious, and I'll take you back here a little bit later so you can see it. The real experience is up there, because this thing has a beast of an engine, and it's a Bentley, and Bentley has history. They won Le Mans 5 times. That's why this car is called the Mulsanne. It's because the Mulsanne straight. They brought it back in 2010 after a 12-year run in the 80s and early 90s, and it's back here, and now it's better than ever with the new interior upgrades for 2013. So I'm gonna tell my driver to pull over, and I'm gonna hop up there. So driver, please proceed to the next place to pull over safely. Don't scratch the car, and then we'll switch positions because I'm gonna drive the Bentley. So do your thing, carry on. So my silly driver finally listened to me and pulled over so we could take a look at this car. It's a 2013 Bentley Mulsanne, like I said, and it's pretty handsome. It's big, it's bold, it's a Bentley. I mean, look at the 21-inch wheels wrapped in expensive rubber because 21-inch tires aren't going to be cheap. You've got some great lines here. I mean, look at the way the shoulder line swoops into the ass end of the car. Big, bold headlights. The flying B is like a target down the road to point this big, heavy beast where you want it to go. But it looks good. It wears all of its lines really well, and it looks kind of handsome in this fountain blue paint scheme. And that's a great name for a paint scheme. Fountain blue. If you don't know what that reference is, you need to brush up on your Miami luxury hotels, my friend. Go to Miami and go stay at the Fountain Blue, because when you do, you should arrive in a car like this. So a big, bold Bentley needs a big, bold heart. That's what we got going on under here. As you might expect, Bentley fans, 6 3/4 liter V8, but twin turbo. 2 turbos, forced induction, masterpiece. Makes 505 horsepower and 752 pound-feet of torque. I think those are classic locomotive specs, essentially. It's so much torque, you can do cool burnouts like this. See? Hand built by Bob Bishop. Thank you, Bobby. And I mean, yeah, they've hit it, but you can still see the top of the intake manifold. You can still see some great stuff going on here with the, the Bentley covers, the Bentley tags, the guy's name. This thing makes tons of power. All that torque's available basically right above idle. And yes, I wish some of this covering was removed so we could see more of this glorious engine, but the sneak peek is nice, and most Bentley owners are never gonna open this thing anyway, so let's take a minute to admire it. Soak it in, soak in the heat. It's a lovely thing. So the back seat's comfortable, but the front seat is more comfortable because that's where my right foot does all of its dancing. And we just left a stoplight, which means we can take full advantage of that torque. There's a little bit of a lag as there's a kick down, and then all of a sudden, once it builds up speed, I'm doing 7 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour. That's borrowing a nice terminology from my friend Matt Fair from the Smoking Tire. You get what I'm saying there. We were cruising. We were doing good speeds in no time at all. Bentley says this thing will run from 0 to 60 in 5.1 seconds. If you keep your right foot pressed and you have enough room, you're gonna hit 184 miles an hour. We've heard from other sources though, you're actually gonna be much closer to 200. That's a lot of speed in a lot of car, and frankly, I probably wouldn't want to go that fast in this car. The suspension is very comfortable. There's a button down here to switch to sport, which firms up the dampers a little bit, but there's still a little bit of body roll. There's plenty of brake dive because there's a lot of weight up there. So it's not a sports car. It's not even as nimble as the Continental GT as you might expect. That feels like a 911 to this being like a Cayenne. So there's still a sporty element here, absolutely, but I'm not taking this on a racetrack. I mean, I would definitely take it on a racetrack if someone let me because I'm an idiot, but I wouldn't choose to do it if I had a bolt. Well, no, I still would. I'm still an idiot. I would definitely do that too. So they reintroduced the Mulsanne in 2010 obviously named after the Mulsanne straight, like I said. In 2013, this car here, they finally upgraded the interior. That nav screen looks great. All the buttons are nice and snappy. It's responsive. It behaves you would expect it to behave in a car this expensive. Finally, thank you, Bentley, because the old stuff wasn't really working. You've got a great screen here with plenty of information going on. They've borrowed technology from Volkswagen and Audi, which they should have done all along, but also they didn't just slap carbon fiber and like cool switches on it like Lamborghini did. They made it their own. They took the back-end technology and made it Bentley, which is fantastic. That's the way it should be done. And that's why this car cost, with a base price a lot, $296,000. That's not how much this car costs because it has tons of options. This car costs closer to $370,000. That's how much these cars cost. That's why they're 1% mobiles, but if you have a car like this, you don't want to show up at your car wash, your grocery store, your Whole Foods, wherever, rich people's probably stores I haven't even heard of, and see 5 other examples of this. You want to see yours, and that's probably what's going to happen. So after a day of driving the Bentley Mulsanne, doing burnouts and basically laughing at poor people, that's not true, I'm poor people, so I'd just be laughing at myself. It's nice to come back and make Phil drive again. Phil, wave to the camera again, please. Thank you. Because this is a really comfortable back seat. You've got a table that folds out from this seat that's really solid and you can actually do some work on it. You've got great features right here, including massage function. Actually, every seat has a massage function. You've got the ability to control the audio from back here. You've got a really slick thing right here. This is a special option. Hit this button, this slides down, and it reveals 3 champagne glasses. There's also 2 bottle coolers back there. So after a hard day of doing all the hard stuff, right, Phil? The camera's not hard. It's just what I do is hard. No? All right, whatever. I'm gonna drink the champagne, Phil's gonna drive, and I'm gonna enjoy the Bentley Mulsanne the way the average person would who, well, I say average, the average person who can purchase this, because I already enjoyed it the way that someone who reads Hooniverse would enjoy it.